Hi, good morning, and welcome to this morning Wuxing, Long Pai, Tai Chi, and Qigong, Taoyin. Hold on, there seems to be like a tilt to this. Weird. Is that less tilted? Okay, a little less. Hi, good morning. We'll get started right away. Just starting with the alignment first. So feel where your feet are in space. Feel where the triangles of your foot are, which is that triangular shape of the support structure of the foot. And find our weight, both, try to find the base of the triangle, the ball of the foot, and the point of the triangle where the heel is, to the outside and to the inside. Feeling that entire triangle in contact with the ground. Use the whole foot then also to just lightly kind of grip for a second, then relax, just so you can feel how the whole foot is interacting with the ground. And get your weight, try to get your weight right in the middle of that triangle, and then slightly forward towards the ball, but not too much. We don't want to go so far that we're in the ball of the foot. We want to stay near the middle of that triangle, just move just a little bit in, and that makes us a little more active. You can play around with that too, like going to the exact middle of the triangle, and then moving a little bit forward, and just playing with that little adjustment. Then we want to bring our awareness up to our knees, and feel where our knees are. Try to get a mental picture of where the knee is in space. If you were to look down at it through this way, like a cross-sectional cut, you want the middle of the weight of that to be exactly above where you're putting your weight. So that the middle of the knee is in direct vertical alignment with that, with the weight structure. Then come up to the ball and socket joints, the hips. We want a feeling of relaxation and open. We want to feel like the ball and socket joints are moving away from each other a little bit, making room for the tailbone to drop. Also, we want to make sure that we're folding in here and not locking and pushing forward. We don't want to be like this. We want to be sunken in like we can sit down, as though we're about to sit down into a squat or into a chair. Like you're just about to sit. And we want to feel where that is in space. And we're going to use the knee and the hip together now, instead of just the knee, to put the weight. You'll notice like the knee is a little bit forward, and the hip is a little bit back, and the middle point of those two is going to be in that weighted position of the triangle of the foot now. And we're going to test that by sinking and rising, and it should make that same straight line. It shouldn't feel like we move forward or back at all in the triangle of the foot. It should feel like we can just go straight up and down, and the knee and hip just fold equally in each direction. This way and this way. So it's like an accordion, and the weight goes straight down into that triangle. And we're going to play with that a little bit. Sink and rise, just warming up the legs a little. Now I want you to notice the attitude of the legs. What I mean is how they're working, whether they're squeezing to push or whether they're softening to receive the weight. And I want you to emphasize more of the softening, and then when you push with just enough. Use just enough gathering power of the muscle to move you. So we're going to decrease the amount of movement now. Getting more in contact with the intention, with the effort of intention to create the change, to push and receive. Catching weight as you sink, squeezing a little as you press, and reducing that over and over until it's gentler and gentler, until eventually you're not really moving. And you'll start to notice the activity around the ball and socket joints of the hips, glutes, hip structure itself, I believe psoas in the front, and where the quadriceps come up into the torso, and the lower abdomen, and the pelvic floor. So we're going to gently draw up the pelvic floor, gather in here, and gather slightly. So that this press now starts to apply itself into the core. And that should help you create a feeling of the center line, strength of the body upright. So there's this gathering, which just kind of squeezes you up a little bit. And we're going to relax the spine and let all the vertebrae open. And then again, soften and catch the weight and relax. Making less and less motion, more and more stable structure. In addition to the center line, we want to feel these right and left sides, the right and left channels on either side, from the ball and socket joint of the hip all the way up to the shoulder, and the jiang points of the shoulder, and how the back, and the rib cage, everything, all the muscles of the torso work together. And we're going to add in the tissues of the chest and trapezius, upper back, and let them also, everything's just kind of working a little bit, just extending, squeezing to extend, relaxing to catch and receive. And we're going to bring the hands all the way out in front. We're going to do the same thing, whole arm, head, neck, head, everything, the whole body now is just expanding and extending. Inhale and catching and releasing. On the exhale, releasing the tension and catching the weight. Receiving in, expanding out. We're going to bounce. Now getting a little motion in, warming up the body, getting the joints to move. And comes. Relax that movement. Add in a little bit of that sense of expansion and receive. It softens. And column swing. And counter column swing. And close. I'm start with a little Ling Kong Jing, do a short session Ling Kong Jing. We're going to do some 7 posture standing Qigong. Also not as long as we've done in the past ones. I just want to review these as practices. So we've got a good Jian Zhuang stance, post-standing stance. Bring the hands in front of the dantian, right at the belt line. Get that pelvic floor supported. We want to always have that sense of the dantian gathering towards the center. Pelvic floor is supported, but relaxed, but not flaccid. Where the pelvic floor just lets go. There's a sense of gathering, no tension. Palms down, dragon palms, so that thumb, middle finger, and ring finger are working together. Index finger and pinky are working together. It's slight. You can see it go well. This position, where the index finger and pinky are slightly risen while these are slightly gripping, and then relax it so it's barely visible. It's just to activate the nerves of the arms and hands and the channels.